Hey there, happy Sunday lunch. I decided to do a lunchtime coffee. I'm still drinking coffee. Actually, only my second coffee of the day because it's Sunday and I don't typically do a lot of work on Sundays. Sundays are my family days. It's my day of relaxation. It's my day to just have a little bit of TLC for myself and just chill. And today I'm actually taking down all my Christmas decorations and just dealing with the stuff that's kind of coming up around my house with my kids and everything, and just having kind of a low key day. But as I was running around and actually making brunch for myself today, I was standing there and I had been texting with an old friend of mine earlier today, and we were supposed to go have brunch. And it didn't happen. So I started thinking about the reasons for it not happening, and what I came up with was that it was a really great topic to share with everybody else, because I think that we're all guilty of this in some fashion or form. And I think that, my realization around like the feeling that came into me when I got the text of, oh, I can't do brunch after all, this last minute, I can't do brunch after all. It was this statement that was shared that it was complete control based. My friend had been controlled by another person to not be able to go and have lunch. Okay. So it was like, oh yes, I want to do this, but I have to say no to my desire because of other people's opinions, their reactions, my fear inside of what somebody else is going to think, do, or react like, versus just doing what I want to do. So we're talking about like eating, right? We're talking about eating, having a cup of coffee. There's nothing massive going on here at all. So that little point, when I got this text, I could feel this like drop in who my friend is, just like not being able to live the reality of who they want to be, not really truly being able to speak their truth, to really be themselves in that moment. And I started thinking back to different times in my life, some more recent than others, but definitely different times where I felt that exact same thing inside myself, the exact same thing of not being able to just stand in who I was and say, no, fuck, I want to do this. Like, this is something that I really want to do. And I remember years ago, we're talking like probably 10, 11 years ago now, where I really wanted to take this class. I was studying mystical Kabbalah at the time, and I went in and I started studying reading books, and I found a whole live training, coaching, tutorship here in the Dallas area. So I started going to the Kabbalah classes, and I lied to my husband at first. I lied to my husband at the time. I told him that I was doing anything but this because I knew that he would freak out that I was going to a class where there were other men. There was this going on because we had marital problems happening. We were not on the same front at all. So we were having these issues, and I did not want to rock the boat at all. So I lied about where I was going on the front side. I did not want him to know that certain people that I knew from my past were in the class either, because I did not want to cause any issues around anything. And as I stepped into that, I got to this point where I remember one day I came to him and I said, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do it. And he was like, okay. And then sure enough, all the things that I was fearing started to turn up in our conversations. I would come home from class and he would be accusing me of, flirting, of spending time with other men, of potentially cheating, of doing all these different things, which was my ultimate fear of what his reaction to me taking a class would be. Look at how I manifested exactly what I was fearing to happen, because that was where my focus was on that fear of that. Well, this is where, when we allow control into our life, and that's why I titled this, we have to admit that we allow control into our life. We are saying, no, go ahead, control me. And why are we allowing the control into our life? We're allowing it because we are fearful of something. So we think that by allowing somebody else, whether that is a job, a partner, our family, our parents, our siblings, a friend, okay, our church, our community, the groups that we are involved with, whatever it is, if we are reacting based on a fear of how that person or people are going to choose to show up, what they might say, do, then we're saying, no, control me. And here's the thing, having that kind of control is just not good. Like when we are in that state of control, we are definitely not allowing ourselves to just completely tap into who we are. We're not allowing ourselves to really just experience who we are and standing in our fuck yes for ourselves. When we stand in our fuck yes for ourselves, now we're speaking authentically as to who we are. We're saying, no, I love you, but this I need to do for me. This I need to do for expansion. This I need to do for connection. This I need to do to grow myself, to heal myself, to do the things that I really need to do for me. Because becoming a better you is going to affect everybody in your life. Sometimes, quite often that is, the people that are closest to us, the ones that we have the best, closest relationships, our intimate relationships with. I find this with couples all the time. I find it with people who are trying to step away from the control of their parents, believe that they need to control themselves to stand a certain way because they are parents. Like mothers can't be sexy. I hear that one all the time. Oh, I have kids, I can't be sexy. Oh, we're a couple, we have kids, we can't show affection to each other. Really? So you're what you're saying is I'm going to allow myself to be controlled and not show affection, to not be turned on to life, to not connect with my partner, to not stand in who I really am and let myself be revealed because I'm a parent? Because I'm a parent, so we want to teach our children that affection's wrong? Being turned on to life is wrong? But what do we crave? We crave connection. We crave to be turned on. We crave to be full of desire, and we are built for desire. Those desires, they're planted there for a reason. The things that we want to make more money. Why? We want to have more love in our life. Why? We want to build a business. Why? We want to have a better job opportunity. Why? We want to buy that bigger, better house. Why? We want to travel. Why? Why? What is your why? You're never going to be able to truly achieve your why and be able to hold to it if you're allowing somebody else or something else, typically that is a somebody or buddies, to control you. But you have to realize that they don't really have control over you. Nobody has control over you. You are handing your power over to whomever you are stepping down from. Okay, so when you step back, when you retreat, when you retract yourself and you have to change all of a sudden your life, your ideas, your desires, your wants, what you're doing, because you're fearful of a reaction of somebody else, that is not that other person bringing that on you. That is nothing more than you turning your power over to that person and saying, here, I'm going to focus on the ultimate fear of losing, of having a bad reaction, of, things turning out this way or that way. I'm going to focus in on that because I'm fearful of that. So this is where my focus is at. And I'm going to give you my power. I'm going to give you my power. And what I'm actually doing here is I'm also saying that I am a victim to you. I am a victim to you. That's fucking bullshit, by the way. You're not a victim. You're volunteering for this shit, okay? You are volunteering to step into that pile. You are volunteering to that control, because all you ever have to do is be a fuck yes to yourself. That's it. Just be a fuck yes to yourself. And that is so easy to do, and yet so hard to do, right? It's so hard because we're not taught that it is okay to be a fuck yes to ourselves. We're not taught that it is okay to say yes, which might be a no to somebody else. It might be a no to an opportunity that seems logically amazing. It might be no to a marriage proposal that the person has the best resume on the planet, perfect marriage potential, but no, you're going to say no to him because your heart's not in it, because you're not aligned to it. This works with money, with career, with your health, with your parenting, with your love life, with sexual experiences, anything that you are involved in. Check yourself on if you are a fuck yes to it or a fuck no to it. Because if you're not a fuck yes to it, guess what? There's no in between ground. There isn't. This is a black and white situation. You are either a fuck yes or you are a fuck no. just get right with which side of the fence you're on, because either side is you being true to yourself. It's you honoring yourself. But when you start to waver and you start to go, and you try to create that gray ground between the fuck yes and the fuck no, that's the ground that's going to cause you misery. That's the ground that's going to cause you suffering. That's the ground that's going to do nothing but bring you your worst nightmares. It's going to cause you to retract, to hold yourself in, to not let your light shine out, to not be who you are. And this world will suffer because you are not stepping up. You are not letting yourself out. You are not being truly who you were meant to be. But in order for you to be who you were meant to be, you have to always be a fuck yes to yourself. Okay? Always, 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 always be a fuck yes to yourself. I saw somebody say something up here. Hold on. Oh my goodness. There's a whole bunch of people on here. Morning, Ken. Morning, Anne. Julia, hi. Hey, morning, David. David, yes, we need to get together. Absolutely. Message me, sweet friend. Morning, Michelle, Michael, Tom. Goodness, a lot of people. So just really, I mean, as I was sitting there this morning and just this sensation that came into me over just like I felt disgust, and it wasn't really even disgust as far as it was just this disgust over control, the disgust of the control that I was experiencing. I was just like, man, if I was in those shoes, I would just feel I would feel totally I'm like, you know what? And I've been in those shoes. Which is why I feel the right? Because I can empathize to it. And no matter what the other person was experiencing, what I experienced was just this reality of I can never go back to putting myself into a controlled position like that. Never, ever, ever again. I have experienced too much of the yumminess of freedom, too much of the juiciness of living a life where I am truly in control of my life, where I get to say yes to myself. I get to stand up and do the things that I want to do. I don't need to make excuses. I don't need to make, create reasons. I don't have to hide from who I am, because I don't feel like I need to explain to anybody else on the planet as to who I am. So, or why I'm making the choices that I'm making, or why I want to do the things that I'm wanting. You know how refreshing that is? I mean, doesn't that just sound refreshing? Just like, can you imagine, just put yourself in a day, create a day in your mind where you really don't have to do anything but just be, does this feel good to me? Does this feel good to me? And if it doesn't feel good to me, why is it not feeling good to me? Is it coming from a place of this is really not in alignment to me? Or is this coming from a place of ego, from fear, from doubt, from that worry of what somebody else's expectations are? Because that's typically where it comes from. It comes from a state of ego when we're not feeling good about something that we were originally a yes to. So if we're a yes to something and then it turns to a no, check why it's turning to a no. Look at what has come in, what has interfered with your yes, what has presented itself, and why is it there? So if it is there, what's causing it? Like really, truly, what was the thought that brought it up? What's the feeling that you're having? And flip back to the thought, because your feelings come from your thoughts, okay? And if you look back at what's a thought, you're going to find that you have some trigger there around a thought that is just saying, hey, I'm scared of this. I'm worried about that. I'm doubting that. I don't want to cause the boat to rock. I don't want to do this. I'm going to just step back. I'm going to retract myself right now. I'm going to become less so that I don't have to deal with that. I'm going to become less so that that person doesn't even experience my power, doesn't experience my heart. I'm not going to open up. I'm not going to be that intense vulnerable. I'm not going to surrender. I'm not going to state what I really want here, because that might rock the boat and that might make that other person feel insecure, feel jealous, feel, a little apprehensive around me, may feel anxious, wonder, all this different stuff. It could cause a fight. It could cause this. It could cause that. All of that. Well, here's the reality. You're not responsible for somebody else's feelings. You cannot change what their feelings are. By shutting yourself down, by retracting yourself, you're not doing the relationship any favors. You're not doing yourself any favors. You're not doing the other person any favors, because you're not relating authentically. If you want to have a beautiful, beautiful, connected, open, vulnerable relationship at a high spiritual intensity, then it requires vulnerability. It requires you to open up and just share your shit, whether it is good or bad, to state your yes, your no, and be very clear about it. Not to do it in a hurtful way, but to just do it in a clear way. So, my challenge to you this Sunday is to look at your week. Here's Sunday homework. I want you to look at your week. I want you to look at all the things that you have on your schedule this week. I want you to look at the different people that are coming into your world this week, the different appointments that you may have. Maybe you're meeting friends. Maybe you're going and visiting family. Maybe you have family coming in. Maybe you've got business deals. Maybe you've got bosses coming into town, business meetings, different presentations that you need to get put together. Maybe you're doing marketing. Maybe you're building a business and you need to go and you need to connect and communicate with different people. Maybe you've got different projects that you're working on. I want you to look at all of those, right down to like what your health things are. Are you going to the gym? Well, do you like the gym that you're going to? Or did you just sign up to that gym because it's the closest one to your house? Are you really in alignment to the classes? Look at the things that you have going on, right down to that level, okay? I want you to look at all of that, and I want you to script it out, and quite literally, if you can, print out a calendar with everything on it, or at least write things down. And you can do this like in 3-day blocks, or you can do it for the whole week. I do encourage the whole week, because to get that visual, it's going to make such a big impact for you. Get the visual of it, write down everything that you've got going on with the people. Then I want you to take 3 highlighters, okay? Pick one color, and I normally do like green, yellow, and red, okay? All the stuff that you're just like, ugh, I've got to do this, but I really am not turned on to it. I'm kind of a fuck no to it. I'm really a fuck no to this situation. I'm really a fuck no to that. Like, this just does not make me feel good. It feels stretched. It feels painful. I feel like I'm completely controlled. I feel like I'm in bondage around this. Mark that with red, okay? Mark that with red. Then the things that you're just kind of like, maybe, like you've got laundry to do. That's kind of a meh thing, right? We all need clean laundry, so that's more of a meh thing. Mark that in yellow. Those things that are meh, that you really don't have any emotional attachment to, it's just stuff that you just get done for the week, okay? Go ahead and mark that in yellow. And then the things that you have on your calendar that you are an absolute fuck yes to, the things that you are looking forward to, you're like, oh yes, I'm going to make it through these 2 days. And then, oh man, I got this event to go to. I'm going to the best play. I'm going out to the best restaurant. I've got this hot date with this person. Oh my gosh, I'm enjoying this, blah, 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 blah. Whatever that is. Got an interview with a company. It's my second interview, that kind of stuff. I'm launching a new product on Friday. Woo. Whatever that is, where you find that bubbly, hot turn on, where it just really, really arouses you, okay? Arouses you to life and gets you just like going, yes. I want you to mark that in green. Highlight that in green. Then I want you to look at your calendar and I want you to examine how much red, how much yellow, and how much green do you have, okay? How much of each color do you have? Are you heavy on one color or not? Because if you're heavy on the red, that's going to seriously impact your joy and your happiness. It's going to impact your ability to manifest the life that you want to have. It's going to impact who you are and how you're showing up, okay? And if you've got a lot of yellow, then you're kind of just at this state of boredom. It's like, it's a state where you need to throw some stuff in your boat, okay? You need to rock it a little bit, whether that is stepping into some stuff that's uncomfortable and you don't know if you're a fuck yes to it or not, because you haven't quite done that yet. Just go try it, okay? Throw some stuff in there that you need to just go try. Or find some stuff that you're really, truly a fuck yes to and go do those things. Heavy on the green is what you're going for, okay? You want heavier on the green. You want to be turned on to your work. You want to be turned on to your lifestyle. You want to be turned on to the people that you're hanging around with, your community. You want to be turned on to your family. You sure as fuck want to be turned on to your lover. So make sure that you are doing things around those topics and your spiritual growth as well. Make sure that you are doing things around those topics that are a fuck yes, that ignite you, that turn you on. And put more of those into your schedule. If you got things on those red points that you can delegate them. Clear your slate of as much red shit as you possibly can and look at it as though it is truly bondage, but it is your choice to be in that bondage, in those states of control, negativity, low vibing energy, or not. Okay, it is your choice. Clear your slate of as much of that as you possibly can. Add in some green. Add in some green. And guess what? You'll probably end up adding in a little bit other green too with that, because it's inevitable. When you open up and you're truly in flow and you're really, really turned on and you're a fuck yes to your life, abundance flows to you in so many different ways. Beautiful people come into your life. Beautiful opportunities come into your life. And yes, more money flows into your life too. But really, truly, take this moment sometime today to look at your week and figure out where you're at on all of that. Look at the script that you have already created and see what you can change to add more green into your schedule. And realize that you, only you, are in control of who's controlling you. And that shouldn't be anybody else but you. And it is always you. Always, always, always. So make the commitment to self to live a fuck yes life today, this week, and this year. If you want to continue following me, you can follow me at www.kendallwilliams.com. You can follow me here on Facebook. Of course, I am all over the freaking social media, web, everything, you name it, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm not so active on Twitter. I'm going to become more active on Twitter. My coaching page on here. If this video touched you at all, please hit the share button at the bottom. Please, please, please help other people get this message too, because guess what? We live in a world of bondage, and it's all each of our individual birthrights to not live in that bondage and to actually step out of it and learn how to do that and realize that it is a conscious decision. It is all a conscious decision, and that it can be done with one simple little switch of how do you feel. So stop existing, start living, and I will catch you guys tomorrow morning with another Conscious Coffee. Bye, guys.